Hi, everyone. I'm Heben.
I'm Tracy.
And welcome to another round with Heben and Tracy.
Oh, let's see the vocal range.
The baritone.
Yes.
I don't know what baritone is.
I was going to say baritone, but I was like, I don't know what that is.
We have such a fun show today.
I can't wait. What's going on today?
So first of all, this is a completely G-rated episode.
Yes.
Because we have the world's most incredible 11-year-old in the building.
Mm-hmm.
And we want everyone of all ages to be able to hear the show.
And we're talking to the amazing 11-year-old dynamo Marley Diaz, who decided that she was tired of reading books about white boys and their dogs. So that's
a direct quote.
That is a direct quote from her. So she decided to do something about it, and she's going to tell us about her campaign. And we're going to be talking to the legendary Ashley Ford, who we love so much. She is a dynamic writer, and she's a huge fan of reading. And so we're going to have a fun little roundtable discussion.
Yes,
our
books.
first roundtable in the studio. So we have water and various juices to sip upon today. And we're also going to talk about a movie that we saw together. We went to go see Zootopia. It is an animated movie. It's a kids movie, but it tackles some really big adult issues, some serious stuff.
And we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So what was this movie about, Tracy?
It was about a lot. There was a.
Let's start small. What happened?
There was a lot going on. So the movie is about a cute little bunny rabbit. Mm-hmm. Her name is Laura. No, her name is Judy.
Wow.
I mean, they both have 2 syllables. Common mistake, I'm sure.
Oh my God. Okay, continue. So it's a fictional universe where animals live together. Right. Some of them live in like the burrows of, if the main character's a rabbit, so you live in a burrow. But other people live in this area called Zootopia.
Zootopia is like the big city.
Yeah, everyone lives in harmony.
So prey and predator live together in harmony. Like they've evolved past their quote unquote primitive savage instincts, and they live together. There's this bunny who is the main character. Her name is Judy Hopper. It's not Hopper. Hops? Hoppy? What is her name? Hops. Judy Hops. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I have the website open right in front of me. I have no idea why this is happening to me.
Yo, you sound like Steve Harvey reviewing a movie. Hops. Hopper.
Okay, so the main character is a bunny named Judy Hops, and her dream is to become a police officer. She wants to be a cop. Hops wants to be a cop. And everybody's like, bunnies can't be cops, blah, 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 blah. But she's very determined, and she becomes a cop. She moves to the big city of Zootopia. Mm-hmm. And she fights really hard to be given a chance to be a real cop. And the boss is like, go write some tickets. You're just going to be a meter maid. And so she gets wind of this big conspiracy, which is kind of weird. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Oh my God, that part was so weird.
It was weird. And so basically it's like, will she or won't she be able to solve this conspiracy and rise above like the stereotypes that were plaguing her?
Yeah. So the stereotype is she's a dumb bunny.
Yeah.
That's what she's working with.
Right. She's just a dumb bunny.
There's a fox in the movie who is like, his stereotype is a sly fox, or like a cheating, clever, too sneaky fox.
Yeah. He's a hustler.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, like, I feel like there's a whole genre of kids movies now that are basically Jason Bateman movies on animals.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked up the voice actor.
Oh my God.
And the fox was Jason Bateman.
Literally Jason Bateman.
It's like, I'm a brunette dude and I'm having trouble in my life, and like this
doing
woman
what I can to
like
survive
shows me the way by her charm and wit, and she's also a brunette. It's like, oh, the struggle and the learning.
Right.
So to describe the animals, it's important to note that they like, some of them are very specific to their real life animal parts, and some of them are like, she has the figure of a human woman.
Yeah.
She's a bunny.
Her waist to hip ratio
is
like,
wild.
I was like, I should not be envious of a cartoon
Listen.
bunny, but here I am.
So
that was interesting. I know.
But yeah, that was ridiculous.
It was.
And then like
ridiculous.
the bears are very like plump, and like a bunny's pretty plump. It's not like a
Bunnies
svelte.
are plump.
Like
You're right.
how often do you see a skinny bunny?
If you do see a skinny bunny, you're probably right.
Yeah.
So The movie's gotten a lot of attention because it deals, I would say, pretty overtly deals with the issue of like racial stereotypes.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
Unless it's just a thing that you never think about.
Right.
In which case you may learn something.
Word. Not in case you're a child and you hadn't thought about it. Just in case you are a person who does not think about it.
If you're white.
That is what we're saying.
So the conspiracy was a little hard to follow after a while. But
it really was.
Yeah, if you don't want this part spoiled, then skip ahead to the next segment. We understand and we'll forgive you. So they're living in this utopia where predators and prey live side by side. Everything is fine. But at random, some of the predators become what they refer to as savage, where they would like revert back to like snarling and growling and wanting to kill things because they're bears, and that's what they do, right?
That's how they describe that.
So my interpretation was that the predators were symbolic of people of color in American society, right? And once they like revert to like being savage and primitive, which are ways that people of color are often described, particularly when they like
There's
break
a history
social
of that.
norms. Right. Then that was blamed initially on it's just in their DNA. It's just who they are. They can't help it.
Even the bunny said that, and that was a huge thing. She's like losing friends over it.
Yeah. she had a tough time. So the conspiracy is that the lion is the mayor and he's a predator, right?
He looked really fine, but I did not want that voice to be what came out of that.
Yeah, we thought he was
that
gonna
cartoon body.
We thought he was gonna be black, but he's very clearly not.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, but he also wasn't a very nice guy. He wasn't very nice to his assistant, who was a lamb. Oh my God, a lion and a lamb. Are you kidding me? I just got that. He's treating her poorly, so she wants revenge on him. And the way that she does that is she makes this serum that like makes any animal that is hit with it just like savage. And she only hits predators with it. She was trying to set up the mayor so that she could be mayor. It's a really complicated way to get him out of office when you think about it.
It is.
So I had this idea that maybe that was like about the crack epidemic, maybe, which I cannot substantiate at all. I was just like, is that what? Because it's just a weird plot point. And I was like, what are they trying to say?
That's the part that I want to talk about.
There's this flower called like a night howler. And apparently when any animal eats it, whether it's predator or prey, then they become savage and snarling, and they just act like animals instead of animals who wear clothes. So there's a chemical that she's literally injecting into all the predators, aka all the people of color, to ruin their stake in society. And I'm watching it and I'm like, is this about crack? Is this about the crack epidemic?
Yeah, like the part where it's like the government was injecting you with something to decimate your community.
Right.
Like, is this about the Tuskegee experiments or our whole history of testing things on people of color?
I didn't even think about
and
Tuskegee.
like the science and experimentation part of it.
Yeah.
They're like, they had this like whole lab situation where they're trying to figure out how to do this to them.
Yeah.
It was weird.
And it was very like systematic too. And so that made me think, you know how like cartoon movies, like a good cartoon movie has stuff for kids, but also stuff for adults.
Yeah.
I felt like if that is actually an intentional thing that they did that for the Black people.
A little Easter egg for the Black people in the audience.
Right. And then the kids and the white people can enjoy this very animated discussion of race.
Oh my God, Tracy, this is my favorite theory about this movie.
In a palatable way, you know?
I was going to say this movie feels like it's for white adults.
That too.
It's like, all right, white adults, we know you speak in Jason Bateman movies. Let's get this to you. Let's inject it into your system.
Seriously though, because like when I was watching it at first, I was like, wow, all of this is like a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, it's on the nose if you are well versed in discussing race, which a lot of white people are not, because these are not things that they have to think about.
This is true.
And this also overtly felt like we are explaining this very difficult premise of race to you. Like there was a part where like, I think it was Nick the fox called the bunny cute. No, it wasn't Nick. It was like a cheater or something. And he referred to the bunny, Judy? Mm-hmm. He referred to Judy as cute. And Judy was like...
Sorry, continue.
And basically cute is the N-word for bunnies.
Oh my God.
Because she was like, yeah, you know, we can call each other cute, but when you do it, it's kind of like...
Hi.
O-M goodness. They really did hire a bunny.
What?
I gotta tell you, you are even cuter than I thought you'd be.
Ooh, you probably didn't know, but
A bunny can call another bunny cute, but when other animals do it, it's a little...
I am so sorry. Me, Benjamin Clawhauser. The guy everyone thinks is just a flabby donut-loving cop stereotyping you. Oh.
It's okay.
And that is quite definitely plainly and clearly about the N-word.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
It was like, wow, this is just really
happened
direct.
twice.
Right. And it happened in like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
This movie was cute though.
Yeah. So in that way, it definitely does feel like it was made for white adults. You're right. I agree with that. But to conclude the discussion of Zootopia, I liked it. It was cute. It was very
it was
cute.
very precious.
I did a lot of chuckling.
Yeah.
There are many chuckleable moments.
There are some real fun, like just animal goofy moments.
Definitely take your white people to see it.
The sloths are the real MVP.
The sloths are hilarious because they're so slow.
But they're so precious and they're like to the point.
They are.
Hey, Nick.
They work at the DMV. I was like, that's really how it be at the DMV, though. They be so slow. That was an expert casting of DMV workers. It's honestly a good way to explain race and stereotypes and double standards to people who never, ever, ever think about it.
They
and
should
people
probably use it for HR training.
Oh, my God. You're not wrong.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cackle.
But shout out to Zootopia. I'm so excited to talk to our next guest. I've been watching her interviews on the internet for like the past 2 or 3 days. She's so adorable. Her name is Marley Diaz. And she came to everyone's attention a few months ago when she was like, I'm tired of reading books. Her words specifically about white boys and their dogs.
Oh my God.
When I heard that, I was like, same. So she launched a campaign in 11, right? You're 11?
Yep.
Okay. So she's only 11 years old. She's launched a campaign called 1,000 Black Girl Books, where she sets out to collect thousands of books about Black girls because they do exist. We just don't get fed them enough, like books about white boys and their dogs. And the books have been donated all over the world. Once again, she's 11 years old. I have not launched a single successful campaign in any of my 33 years. So I'm excited to talk to you and learn from you. Everybody, please welcome Marley.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. I had to think about my answer, but I'm mostly okay. So we want to start off with a question that I have heard you answer before, but I love your answers so much. We're going to ask it for our audience. Why is it so important to you that you read a book about somebody who looks like you?
Okay. Well, it's important because you guys host a show, like a podcast show or a show where you talk about like problems and issues of the day or whatever you want to discuss. So if you read a book about 2 girls who love, or 2 Black girls, or Black women in this case, who love to do like have a show, then you would learn, and they learned how to make their audience more drawn to what they're saying. Then you would read that book, you would enjoy it, and you would remember, oh, they're Black women. Oh, they do this, and I can use that in my show or in my life to make it better and happier.
Yes.
Absolutely. We have a really, really good friend that also works with us, and sometimes she comes on the show. Her name is Stacey Marie Ishmael, and one of the smartest things I've ever heard her say is you can't be what you can't see. Do you think that that's sort of applicable? Like, if you never heard or read a story about like a Black woman doctor, then maybe you wouldn't even know that it was possible for Black girls to become doctors.
I agree, definitely.
All right. Amen. Amen.
So we heard also that you went to Africa. You went to Ghana.
Yep.
What did it feel like to be in a country where there's all Black people?
It was really cool because you don't see a lot of Black people on billboards, but literally every single place you went, there's a Black person on a billboard, there was a Black person on the street, there's a Black person at a job. I mean, you see them everywhere in America, but it's just that it's not like a big deal like there. It's not like, oh, I'm Black. It's in Ghana, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I've been that way all my life. I don't know any different. And it is the same in America, but we don't, there's so much difference in everyone that it's just hard for us to sometimes feel like we're special or that we're important because we know there's other people out there who are still different than us. And what does that prove to us? It doesn't give us power. It doesn't make us feel important if we feel like we're alone.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. I want to
Thank
go.
you.
And then also you're going to Liberia next?
Yes.
What are you doing there?
Well, social action, of course. Well, I don't know specifically yet, but we want to still include 1,000 Black Girl books and any kind of way that we can help in the community. Because although we've been starting more projects, we still want to be able to not always be the boss, because you need to learn an experience where you're not just the leader and whatever you say goes, where you're just following someone else's directions. Because listening is definitely an important trait you need, even if you are the leader of a project.
Oh my God. Sorry, that
You
was
just blew Heben's
incredible.
mind.
Thank
just
you.
blew
I
Heben's
really,
mind.
really have been thinking a lot about the importance of listening. So that really rung true for me.
Are you sure you're just 11?
Yep.
Like,
Sure.
I don't know. You might be taller than me, so I'm not sure. So another thing that I really, really love about you is how often you talk about your besties, your best friends.
Yep.
Tell us about your friends, your best friends.
Okay. I can do this
Okay.
all day.
Oh.
Well, we'll do Amina first because, Amina's my one of my oldest best friends who I still hang out with continuously. We go to the same middle school, and we met in elementary school, first grade. She was my first friend.
Aw.
She was the first person who who called me crazy, and I didn't really care in like any way. It was like, oh yay, my best friend called me crazy. That's awesome. So that's kind of how we became best friends. Like, she was the one I was always willing to like go out and do whatever we wanted, and she'd be like, wait, we gotta think. Mina loves math, and she loves singing and dancing and performing so much. So I like dancing, but I don't like the singing aspect because I don't have a good voice for singing. So that's kind of always been the thing that we do together, because we just like entertaining. It's a lot of fun, and I'm pretty funny. So sometimes I'll make jokes and she'll like sing or do whatever in cohesion with that. So then Brianna, she's like the most cheery person you'll ever meet ever. She loves My Little Pony. She loves video games. So does Amina, but she loves video games. Like she'll spend all day just on YouTube looking at stuff for video games, all day looking at new chargers or new like sweatshirts that are themed about video games, and she loves animals so much. So
Me too.
yeah, that's awesome. So she has a social action project. Last year, we won the Disney Friends for Change grant, all three of us, and together we create BAM, which is our social action organization together. So she had an animal theme thing for unaccompanied minors or orphans or like kids without parents. So they got to hang out with pets for the day, which was 100% awesome. And then Amina had a fashion show because she loves fashion. Forgot to say that too. She loves fashion. She had a fashion show. So that's what they love to do.
What advice would you give to a kid who wants to get into helping people but doesn't know where to start?
Well, the first thing where to start is that you don't need to compare yourself, because I didn't want to compare this project to something that I'd seen before. Although it was new, you should look at what other people have done, but never try to think that you have to be better than them. Like, if your social action project or whatever you want to start in your community is small, that's okay. Helping 5 people is okay, but then you just got to do it again and again and again until it becomes a very big group of people. It's okay if you don't succeed at the first time, because I didn't think I was going to succeed. I thought I was going to learn about failure and then do it again next year. So you just always have to try your best, but it doesn't mean be the best.
I feel so
amazing
inspired.
advice.
Thank you.
So we want to hear a little more about what books you love, and we're going to recommend some amazing Black girl books too to our listeners. So we're going to do a little roundtable discussion in a moment. To help us with this discussion, we really wanted to include our friend Ashley Ford, who is a beautiful writer and a lover of books. And Ashley raised thousands and thousands of dollars for Ferguson Public Library, and she knows all about it, all about the biz.
Hi,
I know a
girl.
little bit about a little bit. Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
Welcome to the conversation.
I'm happy to be here.
Did you feel represented in the books you read as you grew up?
My grandmother specifically took very good care to find me books with little Black girls in them when I was younger. She had a hard time, so she ended up actually having me read a lot of books about animals because she couldn't find too many books that with young Black girls as protagonists. 2 of the books that she had for me and kind of taught me to read with were Amazing Grace by Mary Hoffman and the book Tar Beach. which was just a really beautiful dreamscape book that I still think about a lot.
What about you, Tracy?
I also read a lot of books about animals, and I can't decide if I read a lot of books about animals because I like animals so much, or if it's just because it was easier for me to like relate to like a talking like sheep than like a little
White boy with
redheaded
a
girl.
dog.
Yeah, a white boy with a dog, if you will. I feel like one of the first times I felt represented in a book was probably Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. And we have a fan in the studio. I mean, it took me a long time to have that moment where I was like, hey, I feel like I'm reading about somebody who could be like me. What about you?
I didn't feel represented in pop culture. But I would like sometimes skim over the descriptions of people in books. Like, it's not really that important to me that she's brunette and this foot tall. Like, I imagine different people. And sometimes I get frustrated. Like, with Harry Potter, for example, I thought I was Hermione. I obviously am.
Yeah.
Clearly.
But once a person's cast in the role, you always associate it with that person.
Yeah.
So it ruins the fun and the importance of like your imagination and being able to see yourself in the story. But in general, I read a lot of books, but none of them had black girls in it.
Yeah. I probably didn't really start feeling continuously represented until I started reading like autobiographies of actual black people.
Yeah.
And like poetry, like Maya Angelou.
Yeah. I read my mother's copy of one of Maya Angelou's memoirs called Heart of a Woman. And I read that when I was in about 4th grade, I think. And that led me to I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I read that book first.
Oh, I have that poem memorized.
You do?
Do you? Would you like to give us a little bit?
If I can fully remember. Okay. Well, continue so that I can.
Okay, you are
conjure it.
Well, we're gonna ask Ashley another question. So, Ash, you once said that books saved you.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I would say that at a time in my life, or many times in my life, where I felt very lonely, I found stories or friends or companions in books that sort of pushed me over or held me over while I was going through some really intense emotional things. And, you know, it was really the stories that helped me feel less alone in the world.
Aw.
So why and how did you get involved in the Ferguson Public Library?
Basically, what happened was the night that we found out Darren Wilson would not be indicted, I was on Twitter. I don't remember where I was. I want to say I was probably just home. And I saw the decision come down, and, you know, immediately, you know, if you're on Twitter and following, you know, the kind of people I follow, you know, the timeline just blew up, you know, like you could barely keep up, and people were despairing, rightfully so. And I felt the same way, but my reaction to despair traditionally has been, you know, to look for what I can do and look for how I can be helpful. And the only thing that I could really think of in that moment was that one of my coworkers at the time, Joel Anderson of BuzzFeed, had mentioned earlier that he had been going to the library because people had been getting kicked out of like the McDonald's and other places that had free Wi-Fi. Like a lot of journalists that were in the area were being kicked out of those places. And I also saw that the library was making all of these announcements about how they would be open when schools would be closed, and that they partnered with teachers that they could hold class or like some sort of activity for students while things were, you know, essentially going up in flames in Ferguson. And I thought, when I think about my hometown library, the one that I used to walk to constantly, and I'm thinking about kids who probably hopefully go to this library and find help and find things to like just pass the time or to make them feel more safe, that's the thing I most want to support right now. So I just put out there that I just donated $50 to Ferguson Library, and I hope you'll do the same. And then I wrote some of the things that I saw that the library had done while the uprisings were happening in Ferguson. And it just, I mean, I can't really place it. Like, I can't really say that it was this one person who like retweeted or said they were doing it too that sort of made it jump, but somebody did. And it wasn't me. Like, I may have like said that and then somebody else saw it, but it was a really beautiful moment in the midst of something really terrible. After everything, they had raised close to $500,000, and they were able to.
That is incredible.
That's cool.
It was really cool.
If you have any time later, can you tweet about my student loan debt, and maybe other people will donate $500,000?
No.
You know what? It doesn't even have to be $500,000. Like,
Tracy.
let me get like $50.
Tracy.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it. Okay, so Marley and Ashley, we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about the books that we love. And we're going to do this in round table style. So we'll ask one question and then we'll each go around and answer it. Cool?
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie, artichoke. Marley, what is the book that most influenced you growing up?
Well, I'm still growing up,
True.
but there's two.
Okay.
One that's very ironic that no one really expected that would influence me that I think is funny. And the second one that definitely shaped me the most. So the one that shaped me the most I'll do first. So that was Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. And I'm a very, very avid reader. Like, I read a lot. I can comprehend. I do read fast. I mean, it's gotten slower my reading because I read thicker books that take harder to understand, but like I've always been able to finish a book, understand it, write something about it, and then be done. And then this book I got for my ninth birthday from my TT, my aunt, and she said, "Okay, read this. This reminds me of you." So I started to read it. I didn't understand. I didn't know what to do because I never just not understood at all. Like, I have no clue what she's trying to say. I have no clue what this means. And I just shut it out. I just pushed it aside and forgot about it until the next year when my TT comes back and she says, "How is the book?" And I say, I didn't even finish it because I didn't understand. And she said, "Maybe you should try again." So I did, because I normally never even get to the step of try again. It's not even like in the saying, it's like, if you fail, try again. Like, I'm not even at the if part. I'm not even at the space before that. Before this moment. So I'm already failed, and I haven't even admitted to that. I just think that whatever, I don't know what's going on. I'm not computing the fact that I am having trouble. And so then I realize that, and I read the book, and I'm still kind of frustrated that I didn't understand it. And then I realized that I do get it now, and it made me so happy. I was like, oh, yay. That happened, and I read it, and then I understood. I was like, why am I not seeing this in school? Why is no one else telling me about these books? Why did my aunt have to go on Amazon and look for books about black girls instead of being able to go and find one herself? It just all hit me at once. Like, why is this not anywhere? So, and then I went to my class and I saw it in my 5th grade class, and that's how the project started. And then the first book that I read that actually influenced me but was really funny is that it's a book called Croc on the Rock. It's like a very simple book, and you'll never guess who the main character is.
Is it a crocodile?
Nope. What? It's a white boy and a dog. And it's one of the first books I have ever read by myself.
Oh my God.
Which is hilarious. And I love that book, and I still have it at my house now. And it's really funny now that the project just started, and I went through my bookshelf, like, what books do I have when we started? And I realized, why is Croc on the Rock here? Like, it doesn't belong here. And then I showed it to my mom, and she was like, well, this is one of the first books you ever read. And I was like, but why? But why did we pick this one? Like, we should have maybe thought about that. But it did teach me how to read, and it expanded my vocabulary, and it taught me how to talk in full, complete sentences. So it did help me become more articulate, but at the same time, it was against what my project is about.
We all got to start somewhere. That's okay.
We do.
Ashley, what about you? The book that influenced you most growing up?
I mean, I'm the same as Marley. I have 2, and the first one is Amazing Grace. And that influenced me for weird reasons. I mean, good reasons. First being that the little girl, Grace, who is the protagonist of the book, is a performer or wants to be a performer, and she really loves playing pretend. And for most of my life, I wanted to be an actress, like probably up until I went to college. And a friend of mine wanted to be an actor as well, and ended up living in California, living in his car. And I was like, I don't think I love acting that much. So I was trying to think of something I did love that much. But I loved the book because, you know, part of it is that this little Black girl is told that she can't play Peter Pan because she's Black, and then also because she's a girl. And, you know, spoiler alert, in the end, she not only does she get the role of Peter Pan, but she blows everybody away. And so I loved that. Also, my kindergarten picture and the picture of Grace look almost identical.
Aww.
And so and my
That's
father is an artist. So for a long time, I thought that like my father had drawn the book for me. So that's like a weird one that I loved. And then the book Walk Two Moons by Sharon Creech had a really huge effect on me. I actually reread it almost every year because it honestly is to me one of the most poignant books about women and about grief that I've ever read in my entire life to this point.
That sounds amazing.
It does. Heben, what about you?
I read a lot of books with young girls who were like inquisitive. So, you know, your Harriet the Spies.
Yeah.
I read a lot of Encyclopedia Brown. I thought I was Encyclopedia Brown. I am Encyclopedia Brown. But I think of those, the one, and of course your Judy Blooms.
Oh, yeah.
Judy the God.
Yes.
I think the one that influenced me the most was Matilda.
Oh, I love
Matilda.
Right.
It really captured for me. There are other girls out there too who are just stowing away in their books because the outside world's not that great. And also, I just wanted secret powers to finally come in. So when are my secret powers coming in? So that was, I think that one was the one that made me, that like best describes my relationship to books as a kid.
I think for me, it was Charlotte's Web.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because I mean, it's really the first book that I ever fell in love with. Like, could not stop reading it, could not put it down. Also, it was just like a really pretty world that somebody else created. And I was just like, yo, you can just, anybody can do this. Like, I can think of a world where like spiders talk and stuff. And like, I just felt so like,
I mean, you loved animals, so
Yeah.
you had to
Yeah,
love
it makes
that
a lot of
story.
sense,
It does
I
make
was
Tracy.
so
much sense.
into it. I was so into it. But I think that's the first time where I was like, okay, I want to do this. Like, I want to write a book one day that makes somebody feel the way that this book has made me feel. And it's like been on my list of favorite books since the second grade.
Oh.
Shout out to Charlotte, girl. Charlotte knows my heart.
R.I.P.
Oh, spoiler
My bad.
alert.
My bad.
Wow.
You could just edit that out. But also R.I.P.
Ashley, stop.
I know. Ashley,
Yeah.
why you sound nervous?
Yeah.
What?
What world of a book would you most want to live in,
Oh,
and
my-
why? Marley's got her answer already.
Oh,
Sorry,
my
I had this
goodness.
question earlier, and I love my answer so much.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Go first, though. Go first.
yeah,
Go
but
first.
hurry up.
you-
I want to get some.
Go
more.
first. Go.
Okay, all right. Oh man. Oh, this is such a hard question because I'm so obsessed with Harry Potter. And I can't imagine not wanting to have gone to Hogwarts, and I know I would have been in Dumbledore's army, and I would have, like that battle was terrible, but I think there's something about being on the side of good and like fighting for the greater good and things like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I have no desire to go to war. I'm not trying to
Noted.
go to war. But, I like fantastical things and I love whimsy. And I just can't imagine that wouldn't be a wonderful place for me to be.
All right, Marley, your turn.
Okay, so mine is kind of ridiculous, but
Yes,
it's
I love it
awesome.
already.
So I picked like the world that Charlie Brown lives in,
Ooh.
but I picked this for a really funny reason because like Charlie Brown is amazed by everything. So like
He is.
because his whole life has been portrayed through these comics and this movie and this book. I mean, and these books and like everywhere basically. If I were to go to his world and tell him everything about him, he would be so so amazed by me. I would become like the queen of wherever they live, and that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Because
would be
you
awesome.
would know everything about them. And it wouldn't be that creepy to them because they're all going to stay kids. They all stay kids forever. But to adults, that would have been like, wow, restraining order.
You're right.
Oh my God.
Heben, what about you?
That's such an amazing answer. I can't top that. I think I have to agree with Ashley. I think mine is Harry Potter too.
Uh-huh.
I think it was just, if you're a part of the Harry Potter generation, like I remember I was in 3rd grade when the 3rd book came out, and I had a teacher named Miss Chambers, or it was the 2nd book. Chamber of Secrets. And we made horrible jokes about that all the time. But yeah, it was just such a big part. If you grew up while that was like playing out, that whole 7 eulogy, all of them, you know, it was so exciting. I totally wanted to go to Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Like
You're a Ravenclaw.
Oh my God, I feel insulted.
Really?
What? You
Ravenclaw?
think you're a Ravenclaw?
What is it about me that suggests Ravenclaw?
The fact that you got the charger in the phone, and you took off your glasses for the headphones because you want to preserve the glasses. The glasses, meh. But
Interesting evidence.
but you got your legs crossed.
Very research based.
You see,
Oh my God, I feel like I'm being
you're wearing
read.
a college jersey.
Yeah.
Your laptop has
amazing
multiple
analysis.
tabs open.
Oh man.
See, you're Ravenclaw.
Yo, I've not read.
I think I just have to accept this.
I have not read one Harry Potter book, so I don't even know what's going on.
Okay,
This
so
is
like
very
Gryffindor
enjoyable
is like
to
the
me.
leader, like, yo, bro.
Okay.
And Ravenclaw is like, hello. Would you like to discuss the plaguing issues of society? Wow, we go play cricket. And a Hufflepuff is like, bro, have you ever seen inside your soul? I can look for your soul.
Wait, does that
That's
mean?
definitely
Yep,
Tracy.
you're a
You're
Hufflepuff. And then Slytherin is like,
Marley's making a face.
That's stank face.
yeah. It's like, really?
I
That's
feel like I'm Slytherin and Ravenclaw.
yeah, you can be both. That's like
Yeah.
the most common.
But I'm a Hucklebuck. What is it called?
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
They're like honey. Their like thing is a honey badger, and like Gryffindor's is a griffin, and
honey
Ravenclaw
badgers
is
are
a
dope.
raven, and then Slytherin is a snake.
Huh. Okay.
I feel like
Alright.
I've learned so much about myself.
Tracy the Hucklebuck.
What about,
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
what about you, Tracy?
Yeah.
Probably Alice in Wonderland.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Because
Sorry, I got
it
really
just-
excited about that one.
it just seemed like the most beautiful, like crazy coloring book page like you've ever colored, like came to life. Would also be a little bit scary, seeing as how
a
there's
little bit
this
scary.
murderous
That cat.
queen.
And
Yeah,
the
but you're the
cat.
cat.
That cat scares
The
me.
cat is kind of creepy.
It's
like one of its eyes could be like in the Queen of Hearts palace, and the
Yeah.
the rest of its body
Yeah.
could be like having tea with you. That's like
Yeah, that
No.
cat was on. It was,
yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one.
the cat was a lot, but there was the caterpillar. He was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I thought he
caterpillar
was
was
very.
But
very
he was
smooth.
kind of promoting smoking for children. Like Alice is right there,
He was.
and he was smoking.
Well, he didn't offer her any though.
Well, yeah, he kind of did.
Okay.
He was just like standing there, didn't even
Yeah.
mention like "excuse me" or anything.
Tried to make it look cool.
Yeah, he tried to
Oh my
make it look
gosh.
even cooler. Smoke.
Yeah.
Well, maybe when I live inside of this world, I'll find the caterpillar.
Yeah, you probably will.
And be like, listen, I got some patches for you. This is a bad habit. It's not cool.
Some gum.
Make some PSAs with the
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah,
The creepy cat.
Ashley, what book made you most want to be a writer?
The book that probably made me most want to be a writer, I feel like this is so telling, is Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my god! Say more. Say more.
Yeah. Well, I read Romeo and Juliet the first time in the 3rd grade, heavily influenced to watch it or to want to read it by the fact that the movie was out there somewhere in the world.
So in 3rd grade, you're reading Shakespearean
yeah.
English
Yeah.
Naturally.
and just being
Yeah.
like, yeah,
and
I get
wait,
it.
and wait, you were in Walk Two Moons, right?
Yeah, I also read Walk to
This is a lot. That's a lot to
Yeah.
read.
Yeah, I was oh goodness. I really liked the book, I wanted to understand it and I wanted to figure out. So I used to copy it. My favorite passages I used to copy into notebooks, and I would memorize them. And I loved both the performance element of it and also just the beauty of the words put together. I thought it was one of the most gorgeous things I'd ever read in my entire life. And it continued to be that. We read it again when I was a freshman in high school. And I think I was probably almost scary to my classmates how obsessed I was with it and how much I loved it. And I just like, I never wanted to write like Shakespeare, but I wanted to write something that made people feel the way I felt when I read Romeo and Juliet.
Wow.
Third grade.
I was a weirdo.
What about you, Trace?
Probably, I cannot remember which compilation it was, but it was a compilation of Maya Angelou's poetry. The first time I realized that I wanted to be a writer outside of Charlotte's Web, I was like obsessed with poetry. So I wanted to be a published poet specifically. And my mom just like filled my bookshelf with like all the Harlem Renaissance writers, Countee Cullen, Zora Neale Hurston. And she also gave me a copy of a book of Maya Angelou's poetry. And I was like, yep, this is what I want to do. Amazing. And then I started writing the worst poetry. Tracy. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. I wrote my first poem when I was in second grade. I still have it.
Oh my God.
It was a poem about Halloween. And here's how you know that I was dope, because it didn't rhyme. 8 years old, writing poems that don't rhyme.
Pew, 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 pew.
That was amazing.
Yes. What about you?
I think there were a lot of, like, in general, I wanted to be a writer. And I don't think it was necessarily related to the books that I had read. But then once I read The Bluest Eye in high school, I was like, oh my God. First of all, I've talked about it on the show, but that book is incredible. It's about a Black girl in a world where she's not the beauty standard.
Oh, I get it.
The Bluest Eye. And I remember while I was reading it, like the first few pages that I was like so taken aback by it that I had to put it down because I just had not heard people articulate what it was like to be a Black girl in that way. And I remember feeling like that experience that I had was incredible. And if I, as a writer, can in any way give that experience to someone else, that'd be amazing.
I love that this is a common thread in like all of our answers, is that we want to make other people feel the way that we felt when we read our favorite stories.
Yeah, Charlotte's Web, the Martha Bluest Eye, which I just got. Yay!
Also, I really want to be Harriet the Spy. I want to be a spy, not
But
a
who
writer.
didn't want to be Harriet the Spy?
I know.
feel like she just made being like a nosy loner sound like the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah,
I tried to
I couldn't
eat.
do that in my neighborhood.
No.
Just nosy around.
Who could?
I think you would be a good spy.
Thank you. I agree.
Because Ravenclaws make great spies.
They really
Damn.
do.
Wow.
Full
Full
circle.
Speaking of Mother Maya Angelou, we understand that you have memorized I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
Yep.
We would love to hear it.
Okay. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks its narrow cage can barely see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, but long for still, and as soon as heard on the distant hill where the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade soft winds through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on the dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped, and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, but long for still, and as soon as heard on the distant hill, where the caged bird sings of freedom. Thank you.
That made me a little
Oh my
emotional.
God, I know. That was incredible.
Look at Maya's work living through the youth.
Thank you.
That was so beautiful.
Okay.
Ashley's tearing up. I'm
Everybody's
tearing up.
cool.
I'm all right though.
Oh my God.
I'm okay.
I got me. Got me.
You made everybody cry. On that note,
Marley be knowing.
Miss Marley, if people want to donate books to your 1,000 Black Girl Books campaign, how can they do it?
Okay, I'm going to stay slow so that you can fully hear.
Okay.
So you can send books to 59 Main Street, West Orange, New Jersey, 07052. And I say that slow because I talk very fast. So, hope everybody got that. Thank you.
Is there a website where people can go to read more
Yes.
about the campaign?
Grassroots, it's all one word, Grassroots Community Foundation.org. Yep.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank
Guess what? We have some exciting news for you.
you. Ooh.
So we are very excited and proud to say that BuzzFeed is going to be donating copies of all the Black Girl books that we've been talking about today.
Yay, that's nice.
Yay!
Ooh.
We're so happy that you took time out of your busy schedule to come by, that we wanted to help too.
No problem. I screamed when I heard I was going to BuzzFeed.
What?
I was excited.
Heaven, it's time to buy rounds.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Who you buying around for?
I would love, love, love to buy a round for SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh,
Yes.
Listen, a pineapple under the sea.
I thought you were just exclaiming. I love this.
No. I'm saying the sound.
Yo, SpongeBob be going through it.
Tell me about SpongeBob. My
Okay.
niece is head over heels in love with SpongeBob. I've seen maybe one full episode, and I'm like,
Whoa.
I just don't get it.
Whoa.
I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. It just
Okay,
didn't grab me.
It's definitely one of those pop culture items that you can watch with the kid, or you can be the kid watching.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the best representation of that is the fact that I made this quiz called "Who Said It? SpongeBob or Nietzsche?" And it was very difficult. And I would like to play that game with you right now.
Oh no!
No, I'm only going to give you a few of them just to illustrate my point about what kind of show SpongeBob is. Like,
Okay.
he lives in a pineapple under the sea. Like, his friend lives under a rock. You know,
Right.
they're going through it.
There's like a squirrel down there,
Yeah.
right?
He has this horrible job with this horrible boss. And he has just this boundless optimism about life, and he's a joy to be around even if you don't agree with what he's saying. So he's just a fun companion.
Okay.
Which is why I think the show works for kids and adults. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to give you some of the quotes. You have to guess if it was
SpongeBob or
SpongeBob SquarePants or Friedrich Nietzsche. Sorry. All right. Well, it's no secret that the best thing about a secret is secretly telling someone your secret, thereby adding another secret to their secret collection of secrets secretly.
This has to be SpongeBob. Has to be.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is, in fact, SpongeBob. So that's a great assumption that it's SpongeBob, but Nietzsche be writing like this.
No way.
Yes, this is what philosophers do. He be having these word sentence, like jungle gems. He's an interesting dude, though.
Okay.
Anyways,
okay.
Next one. I hope my horrible ugliness won't be a distraction for you.
Well, whoever it is needs a hug, because
I know.
I'm gonna guess Nietzsche.
That was SpongeBob.
Oh, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob was going through it.
Well, he is a sponge. I've never seen a cute sponge.
Wow.
I haven't. Have you seen the sponge? You're like, you
Let
know what?
SpongeBob live. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? You're right. I'm sorry.
His
I'm part of
horrible
the problem.
ugliness. You're part of the problem.
I'm part of the problem. I'm sorry, SpongeBob.
I feel like the show really gets to, like, I think the best kid shows are about emotions. Mm-hmm. And this is all about SpongeBob's emotions and how he feels about how he looks.
Mm-hmm. Aw, I feel bad.
Next one. You should. I would only believe in a God who could dance.
It could go either way. I'm gonna guess Nietzsche though, just because
That
hasn't
was
been the right answer yet.
That was our German philosopher friend.
Wow, do you think God dances? What if God was one of us?
Just a stranger in your tap dance class.
I might check out SpongeBob in my spare time.
If you like dark childhood things, or you are a child, a precocious one.
And you like fun things
Yes, check out SpongeBob.
that you don't know are dark yet.
Yeah, just things that make you really think about the world.
Good round.
Tracy, who you buying around for?
I'm also buying around for a cartoon
Ooh.
that I like. This cartoon came out. I was well into adulthood when this cartoon was still on the air.
Nice.
Started in 2007.
What?
And I know, right? I don't even know how I found it or why, but it's just a really good nonsensical cartoon where nothing makes sense like at all. So
Does
the
it have a
cartoon
name?
does have a name. It's called Chowder. And I'm going to struggle to tell you what it's about because it's
What
just
channel is
a
it on?
weird cartoon. It used to come on Cartoon Network.
Okay.
So Chowder is like, it takes place in this like fictional world called Marzipan City, right? And everything is like everything is like it's like a world of like food, right?
Oh my God.
Like all the characters have food related names. The main character is this purple bunny cat thing named Chowder. And he works as
What is a bunny cat?
he just looks like a bunny cat. I don't know. Like he's just like this chubby thing that wears a hat. And when he takes off his hat, he's got ears that kind of look like bunny ears. But he loves to eat so much that he usually ends up eating all the food. Like when they're preparing orders for other people, he has to like deliver them. And he's having like this horrible civil war because he really wants to eat the food, but he wants to do a
Wow.
good job.
Oh my gosh.
The chef that he works for is named Mung Dal, after an Indian dish. And his wife / assistant is like this little fairy thing named Truffles. See, Heaven's giving me a face because it's just a weird show that you have
Like,
really,
what are the
really got
shapes
to.
of the other characters?
So Mung Dal is like this blue human-ish thing with like this. He's really thin. He's got a huge nose and really big like grandpa teeth.
Oh my gosh.
But he's really nice though.
Okay.
And my favorite character is this. He's called a rock monster, I think. And it's just like this big, brown, squarish, rock-looking thing. And his name is Schnitzel. And Schnitzel is like the foil to everyone else's goofiness. Like he comes in to go to work. He just wants to do his job and go home. He's always
like
got to
me.
clean up. Right. He always has to clean up everybody else's messes. And he doesn't speak. Everybody in the show, in the world, speaks English except for Schnitzel.
What?
It's weird. So Schnitzel only says rada, rada, rada.
How do you know what he's trying to say? Does he have like inflections?
Yes, he does. So one of my favorite moments is this one where like Chowder and Schnitzel are like out and like they've
These names.
I know. But they like escape some terrible situation or whatever. And Chowder's like, yay, we did it, blah, blah, blah. And Schnitzel's like, rada, 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 rada. And Chowder says, what do you mean you're still dead inside?
Oh my goodness.
So this is another one of those shows where there's like humor that adults can appreciate in the course of it being a ridiculous show about little bunny cat things that are named after food. And it's just fun. I really like cartoons that are just there for goofiness and silliness. And there's like no point. There's no meaning. It's just this.
Well, there's some meaning.
Well,
The futility of it all.
Schnitzel's going through some
He's
stuff.
going through it.
What a great show.
I know, this warmed my heart.
I know. I'm still kind of floating after the Maya poem.
I know.
Let's take a breath. Thanks so much to Marley and Ashley for coming by the studio and talking to us about Black Girl books and making us feel all warm and fuzzy inside. You can check out Ashley's work at ashleysc4.net. And you can find out more about Miss Marley's 1,000 Black Girl Books campaign at grassrootscommunityfoundation.org.
As always,
Sorry. Excuse me.
want to give it.
Want to give it a shout? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna need you to chill. Okay. As always, we want to give a shout out to the Pod Squad.
You always start out so
I know, so
confident, and then
strong.
at the end, it just goes to a place.
Just gotta believe.
This episode was produced by Eleanor Kagan and Antonia Sarahito with production help from Julia Furlan, Jenna Weiss Berman, and Meg Kramer. Thanks to Paul Ruest at Argo Studios. Yay, Paul! Woo! Thank you to our brilliant and gracious musicians, Miss Jean Gray. You can follow her on Twitter at Jean Greasy. And Don Will of the Almighty Tanya Morgan. You can follow him on Twitter at DONWILL. Thank you to Optimus Prime. I need to look at that list and figure out what the other names were.
You know,
Not
you've
that I
said
don't
this
appreciate
before.
Optimus Prime. I'm gonna do it.
I want to give a shout out to Tracy. I feel like you should have a cartoon of your own. Like, your brain is a perfect Venn diagram of children's show and deep philosophical.
You are so right.
Morning.
Oh my gosh, this is my new dream and ambition in life.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I see all the light in you, Tracy.
Thank
so
you, girl.
much joy. If you want more joy in your life, you should obviously be subscribed to the newsletter.
It's so good.
It's so good, honestly.
I don't even like newsletters.
Who likes email?
Right. To subscribe, go to buzzfeed.com/anotherround/newsletter. And every Friday around noonish, you get more Another Round. In
More
your
joy.
face. Right. Hey guys, hit us on the buzz.
Yes.
Twitter, Facebook, email. Another Round on everything.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep. Another round at BuzzFeed.com. If you need some advice, you just need to let something out.
If you need to love on us, please feel free.
Yeah, feel free.
And if you like the show, rate us on iTunes. If not, maybe try meditation because something's not right in your soul.
Just center yourself.
Yeah.
And if you really like us, nominate us for a Nobel Peace Prize. Thank you.
Once you're done nominating us for the Nobel Peace Prize, drink some water, take your meds, call your mom. Oh my God, I have a great new floss.
Oh my God.
I really want to tell everybody about it, but I need to give it a couple more uses first.
I want to be honest with the people about the floss.
Yes, but so far it's so good.
I'm so happy for you. It clearly is bringing so much joy to your life.
It's just so good.
I hope something is bringing you as much joy as floss is bringing Tracy. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Well, next time you come back, you have to bring her so we can talk about our favorite animals. Mine is a penguin, for the record, in case you were wondering.
I think penguins smell bad. I'm sorry. I think they smell bad. But they're so adorable looking.
Oh, nice save.
Yes, they are so adorable, but...
F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere, anytime at all, down here in the deep blue sea. So that would be you. And then there's SpongeBob's arch nemesis, Plankton.
Oh, he's a little teeny tiny green thing. I like him.
So his version of the song is F is for fire that burns down the whole town. U is for uranium bombs. N is for no survivors.
Oh my God.
It was dark. I was like, yo, Plankton's going through it. He does not like our entire species.
Dang.